Hey, so what's going on, people? I don't know if you were following along on my day today, but if you were, you saw that I was walking around up in the Seoul areas in those 12s, those winter 12s. My feet were not happy about it. I think that was the second time I wore those, the first time probably being like maybe an hour or so to the gym and then back home. Yeah, so I was not ready for that. My feet are very spoiled at this point, you know what I'm saying? I mean, usually what I wear is super comfortable. So that, and then the tops, like the right around the upper sock liner area, pretty stiff on those. Never noticed that. But anyways, I assume that if you wear those enough, that kind of just isn't like that. But that particular pair was just like something else. You know what I'm saying? But it made sense because the weather was the way it was. So I'm like, well, if it's going to be rainy, let me put on something that's going to help me be alright. Normally I go with the Vapor Max Utility, but today I was like, you know what, I'm going to switch it up today. Not the greatest idea, for one, because of what I just said, and for two, it didn't rain, not a single drop. So I was just like suffering through it. But it's fine, because in the end I still walked away with something. So let's talk about this, shall we? I mean, this is why we're here, right? So anyways, here we have this. This is a Nike box. Nothing too fancy about it, right? Which kind of is why I like them, because of, you know, the non-fancy boxes tend to have the things I like more in them. So that's just the way that works. And over here we have a receipt saying that this was, if you want to look at that, somewhere on the side, 219,000 wons. That came out to something like 190. Usually this is the part where I tell you what kind of amazing deal I got on these. Well, that's not happening today because I didn't get an amazing deal on these. The store that I would have liked to have bought them from, where I can get a discount, didn't have them, you know, because they just haven't gotten around everywhere yet, I guess. And sometimes I get impatient. But anyways, the other part of this is that I get a lot of things under retail, sometimes because of waiting, sometimes because of coupons, you know, whatever it is. I mean, if you look at like the last 10 initial reviews I've done, skip past like the comparisons and all that, now the last 10, I think I paid retail for one, right? So now, if you look at the last 11, I'm going, what, 2 for 9. So, not bad. Odds are still in my favor, you know what I mean? So, let's get into this. Now, if you want to, yeah, that's the right side of the box. So you see that right there? Yes, of course you do. And you saw the thumbnail, so you already know what we're getting into. What does this say? This says black chamois. That's probably all wrong, how I said that. Hyper blue and white, right? So let's get into this. Oh man, there we go. This right here. This is an Air Max Plus 3, right? The third. Is there a 2? It is third. I honestly don't know if there was an Air Max Plus 2. That's something I feel like I should know because I'm a big Air Max Plus guy, big Air Max guy in general. But the Air Max Plus 2, that's not sounding familiar. Anyways, so let's get into the main business part of this, the meat and potatoes, as they say, which means that it is, according to that clock up there that you don't see, but trust me, it's up here too. It's review time on this, the Air Max Plus 3 in the Hyper Blue colorway. I believe it's called Hyper Blue. On the older ones, which I happen to have right here for comparison reasons, I believe it was called the Hyper Blue. So on this, like I said, it's just, okay, yeah, Hyper Blue. So good. Everything's on the up and up. So let's go ahead and do the whole thing where I talk about the bottom and all that stuff. So let's get into characters, shall we? On the bottom here, nothing too fancy about the outsole there. But one thing I do like is that it has the typical, the dots, not dots, whatever you want to call them. But this part here, where you have that on pretty much every Air Max Plus. So it's just kind of a nice touch that they kept that there. And I'll do a full like comparison later, but right now it's just focusing on this one. And then let's turn that around so you can see that it's got the tune there in the middle. And then on the front, I believe that's very similar to what the Air Max Plus already looks like on the bottom. So nothing too different down there. But when you turn this thing around and you start getting into like the more of the midsole area, that's where it switches up. Not a whole lot, but definitely enough to be noticed, that's for sure. So in the forefront here, that's pretty similar to what you would normally see on the others. All this right here, this hard plastic area, and then on the back it says, what is that, tuned air. So they took the tuned air thing that was on the back, moved that to the inside right there, the medial side if you will, replaced it with just the text. And this here, I don't know, I have mixed feelings on it. It's not, I think because it's just a little bit new, but I don't dislike it. It just seems kind of weird to me in a way. And then the air bubble here, it's not, well, I guess they're never really flat, but it's not as smooth as the normal ones. As you can see, it's kind of got like a bubblish sort of thing. Like, well, I guess on this side you can see that more. Like, it's got that bubblish sort of thing. On this side, it is a little closer to the standard, though again, it still has this little split here. So I'm not sure what that's going to do for actual heel impact or anything as you're walking. That will have to come later after I do like the on foot and all that stuff. But it's just like a very different look than I'm used to. It's not terrible or anything. It's just, I mean, it's the same style, just a little different. And I will say these bubbles are, just pressing into them, they feel like they have a little more give than usual. So I don't know if that's going to play a role in anything later, but again, I'll get into that in a couple minutes here. Past that, this upper here, it actually feels very nice. A lot of the a lot of the Air Max Pluses, the upper tends to be very stiff to me. Not that it's uncomfortable, it's just that whatever material they use, it's that meshy style outside of the frequency packs. It just feels very stiff to the touch. They're still super comfortable when you wear them though. But this, I'm feeling like this will probably overall be a little more comfortable. I don't really remember. I did try these on when I was in the store, but I don't really remember how that felt or anything. I just put them on long enough to make sure that size 9 was the size I needed, but we'll get back into all that later. And so as you see, giving you that little close-up here, you've got a bit of a gradient going from the bottom to the top, where it goes from the photo blue, or was it hyper blue? I think it was hyper blue, to the white up at the top, and then you've got a little bit of blue on the lace tip, or not lace tips, lace locks there. So that's a pretty nice little touch. And then moving over to the tongue, see if you can get that out of there, get all this other crap out of the way. So, you know, Air Max Plus on the tongue with the TN at the top. So again, like I said, usually, well, on the Air Max Pluses, this was on the back, but now it's just up here, and then again, like I said, back there. And moving past that, just take this out for a second, it's going to come out later anyway. So you also have the little TN logo down in there, and a typical all black sock liner. Now, one other thing, and I don't know if it's going to really show up in here or not, but maybe from the right angle, like that angle, you can see that it looks like it's going to be very clear, not very clear, but very thin, to the point of being able to hopefully have some nice breathability in these, because that was not the case in the last ones. Let me pull these out real quick. I figured I'd go for the similar color, right, just to give you a little bit of a side-by-side comparison. I feel like I've worn these, right? Have I? They're looking, yeah, they have. There's like, I did a pretty good job cleaning them, or either I just didn't wear them very far. But anyway, so looking at this and looking at this being the Plus in the same colorway, and this being the newer one, you know, not a whole lot is really, I mean, there's a bit of difference, you know what I mean? Versus these, like they have the vertical lines, they're more horizontal, which is always one of the huge distinguishing things about them. And it's got them on the front too, so that's a slight change, but they still have the same style as far as the material. It's like those plastic lines on there. And push this back down a little bit, get that out of the way. So they've still got a very similar vibe going on. It's just they switched it up just enough to kind of keep it similar, but not too similar. Because sometimes, you know, you have like the newer model of something, and it looks too much like the older one, or it looks too different. This, I kind of feel like they did a pretty decent job of staying a little true to it in a lot of areas, though this is probably going to, I don't know, there's probably going to be a bit of a, not backlash, but some people just don't like things to be too changed. So I haven't looked at any reviews online, but we'll see what people say. Because it is a little different. You know, it almost reminds me of like the 270 in a way, just because it has like that big area up there. But past that, it's really the biggest difference to me. Now another thing here, because I didn't really touch on it a lot. So this part up here, it's pretty soft actually. It looks like it would be more stiff, at least in my opinion. It looks like this would be pretty stiff, like some stiff plastic or something, but it's not. And then whatever that material is, it's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's leather, but it's pretty nice. So it feels almost like that fake leather that you put on things. But that goes all the way around this. So all that here, all this, it's the same thing, and then on to the back. It's all that same material. It's pretty nice actually. And then it seems that the front here, this area where mine used to, at least my frequency packs used to get scuffed all the time, a lot smaller area there. I guess possibly to make room for this tuned air that's down on the side. So they really went all out with like the tuned air branding on these. I feel like it wasn't in as many places, and it's not. On these, you just had it on the bottom, on the back, and then on the inside. So, yeah. But again, full comparison later maybe. So let's go ahead and move on past that. Now that we've talked about this just a bit, I'm going to go ahead and throw these on and give you a good idea of how I feel like the fit goes and the comfort and all that stuff. So let's do that. Okay, and now the whole trying on thing is done. Put some videos over here. You can look at those while you listen to me, or you can mute it, just look at it. I don't know, whatever you want to do. It's your world, alright? I'm just making videos for you. So here's the thing, right? How do these fit? They fit true to size. So if that's all you came here for, there you go. Thanks for coming. Hopefully you come back again. For those of you still with me, fantastic. I like you guys more. Don't tell the other people. Anyways, so here's the thing, right? These, comfort-wise, I got no complaints. Did I notice a huge increase over the pluses? No, I can't say I did, but I didn't really put the pluses on today. Yeah, that will probably be saved for maybe tomorrow? I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. But I do want to do a comparison where I pull out both shoes, talk about what's different, what's the same, you know, all that stuff after I've actually had enough time to make some real opinions and thoughts on them. Right now, I just don't have that time because I just want to get this out there and let you guys see what I've been seeing. So that's the thing. These, they're fitting true to size. They're feeling pretty comfortable, right? They're feeling on par with the previous ones, which is a good thing because you don't want the new version of something to be worse than the previous version, right? What's the point in that? Like when they, and I get that it's two different shoes, but when they brought out the 720, which in a way is supposed to be better than the 270, but to me, it's not. It doesn't look better and it doesn't feel more comfortable. It was like a step back. And the look, that's kind of up in the air, but I think 270s look pretty cool for the most part, and I think I'd give them the edge over the 720. Anyways, back to this, because this is what's important right now. So these here, like I said before, the upper, it feels better than, to the touch and everything, it feels better than the other pluses do, because those, while this fabric, this material feels the same, it's as if the pluses over here, these, the standard pluses, it's as if there's something under them that like kind of just makes them hold their shape, so where you press on it, it's a little stiffer. I'm not sure what that's all about, but maybe that's part of the reason that these also feel pretty comfortable. You know, again, I can't say more so or less so, but I've got no complaints. So later when I do that comparison, then I should have something to say on that. But at least for now, I'm going to say that the upper feels better and it's likely going to feel more comfortable when I do that comparison. But past that, we're really just talking about this as it is, the sizing and all that stuff. And like I said, true to size, I buy a size 9 in these, or bought a size 9 in these because I bought a size 9 in these. That's what I tried on in the store. Everything was fine. So for me, I like the way those fit at my true to size. Now I know there are some people who prefer a different fit, you know, maybe like a little bit looser or whatever. Basically, whatever size you bought in the other Air Max Plus, because I'm pretty sure most people have one, a lot of people have one anyway, buy that size because it's probably going to work out just fine for you. And then hopefully, you know, that that does hold true, and you can tell me all about it down there in the comments. I'm sure I'll get some, maybe not so much right now, but usually over time, like my videos kind of just sit around, I'll get some random comments like a month, 2 months down the line and say, oh yeah, I remember those. So I don't really have a whole lot else to say about these. I mean, I'm liking them though. The look is pretty good. This back area, I know I'm not sure how I feel about it, if I feel any way at all. I mean, it might just be one of those things where I am completely neutral to it. But it's a little different, you know, it is. But overall, I mean, I think they did a pretty decent job of this. So let me know what you think. Also, while you're letting me know what you think of these, go ahead and let me know what your favorite Bad Religion song is, if you have a favorite Bad Religion song. So, very unrelated, but since I happen to mention it, this Bad Religion shirt I'm wearing, like, I had this thing last time I lived here, which was like 10 years ago. So now it's pretty old and faded. I think I got this at Warped Tour 2007. Yeah, but, I mean, it's holding up, just like the band. If you don't, fake it. Google them. Write down the first name you see. I don't know, it's probably going to be like Sorrow or Los Angeles is Burning or something. Those seem to be the popular ones. They also had a song with Sage Francis a while ago. What was that? News from the Front, I think? I can't remember. But yeah, I wonder whatever happened to Sage Francis. Dude was pretty alright. Anyways, so that concludes this video. You guys and gals, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. Do come back tomorrow. There was something I was supposed to mention in this video today. Forgot to do it. I'll bring that up tomorrow. So there's a little something in there for you guys. Also, the main part of the video will be shoes, right? So will it be a comparison of this versus that, or will it be something else? Wait and see. All right, people. Again, thank you very much. I sincerely mean that. Time to do some editing. All right, later.